Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. So, today we're diving into a topic that honestly sounds a bit like intimidating internet plumbing. But I promise you, it's actually a massive syndication superpower. We're talking about make webhooks. We're going to explore the source material together to see how we can completely transform our digital connectivity. Whether you're a total automation novice or, you've been tinkering with APIs for years, by the end of our time today, you're going to see the internet in a completely new light. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to imagine something for a second. What if one single, tiny digital signal could launch a massive, coordinated campaign across, say, 20 different platforms all at once? No more opening 20 tabs, no more copying and pasting the exact same image and caption into Facebook and then Instagram and then Pinterest, right? Just one trigger, and the whole machine springs to life. That's the exact magic we're unpacking today. Here's our quick roadmap for the explainer today. 1. We'll look at the Smart Doorbell Concept. 2. Polling versus webhooks. 3. Building the make train. 4. The syndication superpower. And finally, 5. Strategy and troubleshooting. Let's get to it. Section 1. The Smart Doorbell. Making sense of the webhook. Now, if you look up the clinical definition of a webhook, you're going to see something like this. It's a method for an application to provide real-time information to other applications instantly, acting as a custom HTTP callback. Wow, okay. If that sounds a bit dense, don't worry about it. You can basically just think of it as a custom web address that's specifically designed to catch information sent to it, rather than, displaying a normal web page. But there's actually a much more intuitive way to visualize this. And this brilliantly illustrates the concept. Right from our source material today, a webhook is compared to a smart doorbell, like a Ring doorbell. Think about it. When someone walks up and presses that button, the whole house instantly reacts. The camera turns on, a proximity alert fires, the night vision kicks in, your phone buzzes in your pocket. All of these complex actions happen instantly from one single press of a button. Well, a webhook is just a smart doorbell for your apps. It sits there quietly, and the absolute moment a piece of software presses its button, it wakes up and fires off a whole sequence of events. Honestly, if you ever need to explain a webhook to someone in an elevator, just tell them it's a smart doorbell for the internet. Moving on to Section 2. Polling versus webhooks, the shift from slow to instant. To really appreciate the webhook, we kind of have to look at the old way APIs used to talk to each other, which was called the polling method. It's basically like a child in the backseat of a car constantly asking, "Are we there yet? How about now? Do you have new data yet?" The software goes out every 5 minutes, asks if there's an update, and usually just gets a no. It's clunky, it wastes computing resources, and it completely delays your automations. But with the webhook method, there's no asking. There's zero waiting. The absolute millisecond there's new data, the doorbell is pressed, and the action happens instantly. It's a total paradigm shift in efficiency. And this shift to instant triggers is exactly why platforms like Make and Zapier aren't going away anytime soon. Some folks out there claim that native AI will just replace these automation platforms entirely, but the source material points out that's totally backwards. AI agents, using frameworks like the Model Context Protocol, are actually going to rely heavily on webhooks. Your AI will do the thinking, write the content, and then simply press the webhook's doorbell. The Make scenario will then step in and handle all the heavy lifting of syndicating that content perfectly to 20 different platforms. The AI is the brain, right? But the webhook is the muscle. Which brings us to Section 3, Building the Make Train. Visual programming with webhooks. If you aren't a traditional coder, you are absolutely going to love make.com. As the source describes it, it's entirely visual programming. You get these little circular nodes on your screen, and you literally drag and drop them to connect them. It genuinely feels like snapping together Lego sets or Lincoln Logs from when we were kids. You don't have to write lines of complex code, you just visually build the path you want your data to travel along. So the crucial point is really understanding the anatomy of this path. Think of a basic make automation like a simple train. Step 1 is the engine. This is your initial custom webhook node. Its only job is to catch the signal coming in from an outside app. Step 2 is the cargo. This is what you actually want to do with the data. For instance, a node that takes an image URL and a caption and goes ahead and creates a post on a Facebook page. And finally, Step 3 is the caboose. This is a webhook response node. Its job is to send a message back to the original software saying, "Hey, we successfully delivered the cargo." That caboose is absolutely crucial for keeping all your systems synced up. When you build that final webhook response node, you're going to want to include a few specific things. First, a status 200, which is just the universal web code for a green light success. Second, you want to pass back an HTTPS link. And most importantly, you want to include the specific post ID that Facebook or Instagram or whatever just generated. This creates a perfect feedback loop. The app that originally triggered the webhook now gets a link back directly to the live post that was just created. It's a beautiful closed-loop system. All right, on to Section 4, the syndication superpower, scaling your signal. Let's move to and see how this builds when we introduce one of Make's absolute best tools, the router. By dropping a router node right after your webhook engine, it acts like a massive rail yard switch. You can split that single incoming signal into multiple different paths. So now one button press doesn't just trigger one action, it triggers simultaneous actions running in parallel all across the internet. Once you add that router, guys, the destinations are practically endless. From that single smart doorbell press, you can simultaneously send a photo and caption to Facebook pages and Instagram business accounts. You can create a pin on specific Pinterest boards. At the exact same time, you can log all the data in Google Sheets, alert your team in Slack channels, or even route the text through OpenAI to completely rewrite it into a brand new blog post that gets fired directly into your WordPress site. This is true syndication. One piece of content enters the webhook, and Make deploys it across your entire digital ecosystem instantly. Finally, Section 5, Strategy and Troubleshooting. Best practices for your automations. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it highlights the biggest trap people fall into. It's so natural to want to build the biggest, coolest, most complex thing right away. But the absolute golden rule of building webhooks is to start simple. Build that basic train first, just the engine, the Facebook cargo, and the caboose. Test it. Ensure the data passes through correctly. Only after that single linear route is working perfectly should you drag in a router and start adding your Pinterest boards and Slack channels. Incremental testing will save you from massive automation headaches down the line. And look, when you do run into hiccups, because we all do, here are some rapid-fire troubleshooting tips straight from the experts in our source material. First, when you test your webhook initially, always look for that green HTTP success message. If you don't see it, your systems simply aren't talking. Second, ensure you've selected the exact specific webhook URL for the platform you want. A super common mistake is sending data to your Facebook webhook when you actually meant to hit the Instagram one. Third, remember the train analogy. You can only have one webhook response caboose at the end of a linear path. You can't put a response node in the middle of a track and expect the train to just keep going. And finally, it's highly recommended to isolate platforms. Have a dedicated webhook for Facebook and a separate, completely dedicated webhook for Instagram. This ensures your data variables map cleanly and perfectly every single time. So, we've covered the Smart Doorbell concept, the massive upgrade over old-school polling, visual train building, and those crazy multi-track routing superpowers. You now understand exactly how a single instantaneous signal can be caught and distributed anywhere across the web. You quite literally have the cheat code to the internet's plumbing. So the only question left is, now that you hold this syndication superpower, what will you build and automate next? Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me today, and happy automating.